manipulate the juices. You know what? Woo! Right now. Woo! Woo! Woo!
Dr. Hughes invites followers. Oh, let's see if they increase now. Me too. Yeah, wow. Dr. Hughes.
Mock-ass mock.
He's a great podcaster.
Trick-ass mock.
Acknowledge me. We coming for you, nigga. Fat!
Yeah, Dr. Hughes, here we go. Keep plugging yourself, that's cool.
You fucking mark! First up, a man whose looks will serve your inner needs and desires.
Dr. Hughes.
Yes. Once again, with everybody. Look at King Reezy is even here. Shout out to Reezy. Can you hear us? Is he frozen?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, Sleaze. Can I hear Danny?
Hello. Good evening.
Can y'all hear me?
I can hear Reezy. He's just frozen.
It's all right. He looks badass right there.
Yeah, it's pretty good frozen thing.
Look at this. Look what Santa brought me.
Oh, fuck.
The whole shirt. I'm going to wear this everywhere, every single day. All year 2025. Yeeting all over the world.
Black on your side?
What's that?
Is everybody screen black on your side? Because everything is black.
No, just you.
Okay. All
Try
right.
coming out and coming back in.
I'm going to do that. I'll be back.
All right. And don't forget to like, share, subscribe, Breezy. Just like everybody else out here. Get liking, get sharing, tell everybody all over the wrestling world on the interwebs that we are live now. The experts and more experts to come. We got the Sleaze. We got Danny Damage. King Reezy's coming. And mystery guests in just a while. A huge inverse megastar. Down since day one was Ish. So be prepared for all of this, folks. But yeah, there's so much to talk about. So much really mediocre stuff that we're going to make so entertaining for everybody to listen to on all the podcasts out there as well. I know you guys are subscribed, right? And if you're not, Danny, get subscribing to the audio version, SoundCloud, iTunes, all the rest. Is it even iTunes anymore? I don't know.
I think it's Apple Music or something. I don't know.
Apple Podcasts, I think. Man, we're getting old. We don't even know what's what anymore. You know?
I went to go look up Stitcher the other day. Apparently that doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah, that left a few years back. I do kind of remember that. But what's the purpose of all these podcast channels? Like, that's died down, I would assume. Do you know anything about this, Danny?
I think it's one of those things with the internet. You get one or two of the big sort of like bigger brands, bigger websites, however you want to call them. They'll excel, but then the other ones they stick around for so long, but they can't stand out. So they just dwindle slowly and just let the bigger ones sort of like just lead for a while.
Yeah. And we must be on Spotify. I just assume I'm on everything. I assume a lot of things, apparently, but definitely that. I'm definitely on Spotify with this. Go look at that full name. Type it in. Go listen to the tunes. Because all these other platforms aren't helping me with any of that. Did you know? Here's a quick Dr. Huge fact. I did a little experiment and put like $20 into Google advertisements, right? Like, what will this do? And I set, the little sliders. They have like 1 million of them. I put it out there, and they only showed my music to people 45 and above. 100%. I looked at the analytics, and I said, so they're screwing me on purpose, because clearly my music's to yeet to. You see? It's not for 45 plusers.
Yeah, that's fucked up. Like, why wouldn't you have the option to put your demographic in?
And that's the thing. You do. You have 1 million options, and that was one of them. And I tried to make it as low as I possibly could. But what the hell? And then they only showed it to people over 45, 50 years old. I'm like, this is crazy.
No yeet.
Yeah.
No yeet.
There we are. He's moving. He's in the picture. Look at this. He's looking fancy today with the background.
Jesus.
Man, look ghostly almost. TikTok things, but that's cool. Nice. And Slee's he's got the dragons behind him.
I'm ready to fight.
You're like the guy from The Perfect Weapon in the early 90s. Remember him?
Yes.
That movie was the white guy that like just karateed the shit out of all the Asian people in America.
Yep, that's me.
That movie rocked. All right, let's talk about some wrestling here. I guess we'll have to do it at some point.
Sure.
But it's award season, and everybody's making their picks. Me and the Sleaze did this the other night. We went through Sports Illustrated. We just go right to the big names. That's a big name to me still, even though they don't really exist. But compared to everybody else, we all have opinions, right? But Sports Illustrated's supposed to be professionals, and we told them what was what on that. But a quick little funny note on this. I know you know him, Sleaze. Pete Rock, a buddy of ours.
Yes.
He sends me wrestling stuff all the time, which is fine. It's cool, But like then he'll like today he sent me a list of the awards from some other show or podcast, and I'm just like, I have a podcast. It's like, Pete, I know you in real life. I have a show. I'm doing it right now. How are you not watching this? But you're going to send me wrestling stuff all the time as if you don't know that I'm doing a wrestling podcast right now, pretty much. So,
I didn't know Pete turned out to be such a piece of shit.
Get it together, Pete. That's all I got to say. Everybody else that has no idea what I'm up to, especially in real life, like, what the fuck? No push over here, Reezy, Danny. You understand?
No good.
Reezy's he's going upside down.
Going
what
on
the
an
fuck
adventure.
is going on?
Look at this is my NWO right here, folks. Sasha Reigns later. So we gotta build this army up. We need B teams, we need C teams, so on and so forth. Because everybody I know in real life could care less.
Yeah. The closest people to you don't watch the fucking show.
Right.
Pete Rock.
Yep. My brother doesn't watch the show. How about that?
What the fuck? Are you kidding me?
I remember one time, like in the middle of back in the day when we were doing the show, and he would tell me, like, one time he was like, we listened to that show, and I'm like, we were like 4 years in. We're like cooking. We were cooking too, and okay, all right. Keep sending everybody else's opinions to me, then, Pete, and everybody else. Thank you. Not like I'm not doing it. Right, I'm doing it. I'm killing it right now. But all right. Anyway, what's your take on that, Reezy? You have any takes on this now that you're here?
I have no takes at all on that.
All right,
no takes.
It's despicable. That's why.
Probably the smart thing to do right now. All fired up, So yeah,
just let you go. Let you go.
Yeah, awards season. Who cares? We already did it. Yep. And New Day, Mysterio, Mama Kingston, they're all having issues right now. I don't know if you've seen this, but even Mama Kingston, who's from Ghana, she's hating on her own son. She thinks that that Kofi Kingston did Big E so dirty that she showed up to the event to basically troll him, because why else was she there? The crowd it wasn't the crowd, right?
Did you say she was from Ghana? I thought he was Jamaican.
What?
Totally
Via
confused.
Jamaica.
Via Jamaica.
Yeah.
There you go. But yeah, Kofi Kingston, Mama Ghana, Mama Kingston.
It was a good bit. I liked it. It was funny.
Yeah.
And she played it real well. They played it really well.
She didn't slap him though, right? That would have been a little overboard. She just left.
Yeah.
I believe.
Cold shoulder.
It's coming. It's coming.
Yeah. I was hoping that she would take Kofi Kingston in the ring and give him the old Cody Rhodes, Kevin Owens treatment and stay.
What do we want to talk?
Boom! Right on his head. Oh, look who's here with us.
Oh, yeah.
And he shows up again.
It's my favorite picture of the year.
Yeah. You know, I like to beat a dead horse, and that one will be beaten at least for up until WrestleMania. This is WrestleMania season, folks. So get it in now.
What do we want to talk about?
All right, what's next then? Because that happened. People liked it. I mean, how much lower can you go than your mother even turning on you in front of everybody, in front of the millions? So maybe he gets dropped on his head too by Kevin Owens, just in passing, because watch Kevin Owens be appalled by the New Day. That would be actually kind of funny because he's on his mind.
That would be a good little thing. Him being fucking
I
disgusting.
mean, oh god, that'll be funny. I mean, it was funny when Dom.
Yeah. Daddy Dom looking down on him.
He said, "Man, I don't even like Big E, but y'all crazy, man." He even agreed with Big E. He doesn't even like Big E.
The biggest scumbags in the business are like, yeah, you guys are the worst, man. So New Day's killing it, and they haven't even really wrestled yet as a bad guy team, I believe. So
no, I don't
keep
think
it up, because there's too many spots, right? I mean, that are being taken up. That you got to have other things for these. They're really hitting everything perfect. This WWE. I hate the ball wash and dick ride, but you know they're doing it. Everybody seems to at least like it. Like with us last week, we all had Raw as one of our top shows. Every single one of us.
Yep. If it's good, it's good. You know, and it's been fucking great. So
experts.
How
about this Punk Rollins feud? Anybody have any white hot takes about that? I'll just give you my overview of this whole thing real quick. Punk and Rollins. How does Punk win this feud now that he just got over on McIntyre? Are they really going to allow him to get over on Rollins too, especially with all the hate he has built up?
Good question. Really good question. The common sense thing is Punk is going to go over, but I don't know how people are going to feel about it, because I don't know how I feel about it. So,
Punk goes over at WrestleMania or something, Danny, over Rollins. Even at, say, they build it up to Royal Rumble or one of them stupid ones in between, and Punk wins. Is that really what's best for business?
I'm not sure, because you can't complain and say, oh, it's the younger lad should go over, and that's there's not that much of an age gap, really, I don't think, between the two. Yeah, Rollins is going to be working at a higher level for a little bit longer than Punk. Now Punk's winding things down, but Punk's still a bigger draw. Seth gets people's butts in the seats, but I still think Punk's just that. I'm not going to say once in a generation, but at the moment he's just a name that everybody just wants to listen to him speak, watch him do whatever he's doing. He could run down in a fucking towel like he did the other day and make the save in a towel and a shower cap. And people are like, yep, that
did happen, didn't it? I didn't know if it was AI, because when I see a naked man in a towel, I just keep scrolling, unless it's Val Venus, of course. But, was that a Val Venus bit he was doing?
I thought it was a fever dream.
People did make the connection with Val Venus and Punk, so that was maybe what he was going for. But yeah, people are interested in what he has to say, like no matter what it is, whether they love him or hate him. Whereas Seth Rollins, he upsets people to the point of just like wanting to turn over sometimes. When he's good, he's really good, but yeah.
I wonder why he upsets people so much. Could it be that?
Yeah, it's the natural heel, sort of like, it's just a natural heel. It's just really irritating. His voice just, he knows how to be like nails on a chalkboard. I do like how Punk and Rollins are, you can't tell where like the shooting and the working starts and stops. They are doing a really good job of that, where it's like, all right, I could see that little dig being a real personal sort of issue, but then I could also, they're just playing along. So I like that. I like what you can't tell.
Yeah. Bootlicking bastard, or whatever you call them. Bitch.
Yeah.
Bootlicking bitch.
I don't want to get my swears and my cussing wrong. Analyst, journalist, professional expert. We're doing it right now. How about
Yeah.
this? Uncle Old School, breaking news.
Mm.
I spoke with him over the holidays, and he still doesn't like CM Punk. And you know, if anybody knows Uncle Old School, he loves good guys and he hates bad guys. And when I speak with him, and I'll be like, hey, how about this Dominic Mysterio when he became bad? This is like a weekend. And he's like, yeah, I don't like him now. And I'm thinking to myself, well, because he's bad now, like obviously. So that's how that works with him. But this kind of broke through the matrix because Uncle Old School doesn't like CM Punk still, and CM Punk's the good guy.
That's crazy because I know him, and there's a definitive line between good and evil with him. So to hear that is surprising.
It's mind blowing. Reezy, you awake?
I'm awake, man.
He's here. He was in deep thought right there over Uncle Old School.
I'm listening.
You're not like that, right? Do you only like, does any of us on this panel right here of experts only like good guys and hate all the bad guys?
No,
I love the bad guys. The bad guys are the best.
Okay. Yep.
Yes,
We're all
absolutely.
smarks. We get it, folks. That's why you're watching and listening. We get it. We're no Uncle Old Schools. We understand when people are actually hurt versus kind of hurt, versus, all that stuff.
Yeah. We don't work and shoots.
Yeah. Shout out to you, Uncle Old School. I wish I could watch wrestling like that for the rest of my life as well.
Yeah.
But nope.
So does he listen to the show? Unlike half the people you know?
He doesn't know internet.
Oh.
He's old school. He would go up to the Boston Garden and watch all these old matches from people I've never even heard of that were champions and things.
So unless it's on like the AM, FM radio, nothing.
Yeah. So it's like it's crazy because it's like he's an expert. He's watched all this shit for the past 70 years. But he still doesn't really, he's back in the 60s still with this. It's all real, which is wild.
God rest his soul. That's how my grandfather was. He was very, he did not want to give up the fact that this was fake. You know what I mean? He stuck true.
I didn't even ask him about the New Day. He probably hates the New Day's guts now.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. So that happened. Still dislikes CM Punk, though. CM Punk could be a good guy forever, it seems like. And he's like, fuck that guy. He says fuck way more than any of us.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Back. Back.
Yeah, more like that. Yeah. But there was the Raw on Netflix is coming up, and now they're promoting kind of Roman Reigns. We know will be on there. The Rock, most likely, Cena, and then Brock Lesnar. I've been hearing Brock Lesnar too. Wow.
Yeah.
It's been a rumor.
I think Brock will debut in the Rumble, though.
So Brock Lesnar's not trafficking women anymore, right?
Apparently not.
Or did that actually allegedly?
Allegedly.
Right.
It can't be too bad because he just was seen out in public with Sable.
Yeah.
There was a picture of them.
Yep.
I mean, I still think his wife was kind of given to him.
Given?
Never mind.
Let's hear about this conspiracy.
Yeah, go ahead. Tell us more about this. Allegedly, in his opinion.
Allegedly. I mean, because people got to remember, back in the day, Sable put a lawsuit on Vince for sexual harassment and similar to the stuff that's going on now. And Brock and Vince has been best friends for many, many years now. So with Brock being married to Sable, I mean, it's kind of,
Wow, you heard it here first, folks.
Guys can feel the fans can fill in the blanks.
Love it. You know what? It could be. Who knows? Allegedly, possibly, speculation. All these words.
But I can tell you, Brock Lesnar versus Gunther is the match people want to see.
Yeah.
Oh yes, you know I never even thought about that because
Oh,
I just
yeah.
Oh yeah,
Wow.
that's the match right there. Listen, listen. I'm sorry, people. I don't want to see Gunther versus John Cena. Maybe John Cena 05, 06, but John Cena today, I want everybody to really think about that. John Cena right now versus Gunther. Do you really want to see that? Do you really want to do that to John Cena?
No, and I don't want to see Gunther and Goldberg either.
No. Oh,
We
God, that's
established
even
that.
worse.
Yeah.
And could you imagine if they actually let Goldberg squash Gunther?
Hey, man, they let him do it to Bray. They let him do it to Brock. Brock was the most surprising one, you know?
Kevin Owens with the belt.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. And you knew Kevin Owens was so pissed when that happened. You could tell the whole lead up when he came out. Now he's basically like, "Here, take it." He almost took the belt off and just threw it at Goldberg, you know, at his feet, like, "Yeah, take it."
He knew.
So, man.
Yeah. Goldberg's the worst.
It's the shits.
Yeah, it's the shit.
Hey, him and Brett made up because there's a ton of pictures of them online with like Christmas sweaters, hugging. It's nice.
Oh, that's right. Yep. Again, breaking more news. Bret Hart, Goldberg, back together, hugging. There's pictures of it. I mean, come on.
I mean, hey, Tony Khan and Triple H spent Christmas together. You seen the picture?
Yeah.
Oh,
that
yeah,
one too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Opening up Christmas presents and see the holidays brings people together.
It's been nice. It's been heartwarming.
It's heartwarming. Huh?
It's the shits.
I got a drink to keep doing. This is some crazy news. It's messing up my whole life right now. And my microphone and everything. All right.
Yeah.
We're back. I got all them pictures in my head.
Yeah.
Yep. So, and guess what? Bigger than all four of them guys combined that I said that's going to be showing up on this Netflix Raw. Guess who else is going to be showing up? Can anybody guess who I'm speaking about?
The man, Becky Lynch.
Yes. Correct. Yep. Everybody, I don't have any applause with me today, but you know, we really don't mean that. Huh?
No, I don't mean it.
Yeah, me neither. Thanks. She was in front of me in Boston. She comes out first every single Raw, whatever I go to in Boston. And she comes out, she's doing the chase. She had the championship at the time. And I was like damn near in the front row. And I was giving her the double thumbs down, motherfucker. Because I'm tough.
Yep.
Right in her face. And she tried to look over me, but I'm right here. I'm huge. I'm in the Yeet shirt. You can't miss me. I'm like, I pushed all the other children down. I'm like, get out of here.
Fuck kids.
Yep. They push that Becky Lynch on Bostonians so much because she's Irish, right?
Yeah.
Okay. We get it.
That was it.
We get it.
Yeah.
You know, she's Irish. Yep. Sheamus too comes out every show, whether he's got like 2 broken knees or not. But thank you. I guess it's somebody must appreciate it. Well, the McMahons and all them are Irish, so maybe that too. You know, they really play into a lot of that stuff.
Yeah, and everybody in Southie.
Yeah,
like the Winter Hill Gang.
Southie kid. Fuckity fuck. That's basically how you talk in Boston. So when people are like, "Oh wow, you and the sleaze, you know, you guys swear a lot, or used to swear a lot, or whatever," the case is, we definitely grown up by, you know, since then. You know,
Okay.
we grew up, and we only say it half the time.
Right.
But it's
used
a major
used to be worse.
Yeah. Do you guys say that a lot where you're from? I know, Reezy, you're from Minnesota, the state of Minnesota, right? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They say
Danny,
fuck.
do they say it over there in
Do they say what over here?
England ham?
Oh, yeah.
No.
Fuck word.
Oh, yeah.
Did they say what? Sorry, did they say what?
Do they
Fuck.
say F-U-C-K?
They say,
Oh, yeah,
they say
yeah,
fuck a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. We get fuck, we get feck, we get people saying fucking hell. It's
Hmm.
there's loads of different variations of it. Yeah.
I think
Mostly
Book off.
fucking hell. The full F word. You know.
You guys say bloody, and I love that shit.
Yeah.
Like
bloody
bloody
hell.
hell.
You bloody bastard. Yeah.
Fucking love that shit.
I remember a girl in elementary school getting in trouble because she said, I just killed this bloody mosquito, meaning it literally because it was full of blood. And the teacher was like, whoa, went like nuts. She thought she meant the English sound. So she must have been from there or something, because nobody would be freak out about that here.
No.
Yep.
It's not a bad word here.
No.
I believe it comes from God's blood, was the original old curse. You say, oh,
Really?
God's
I mean,
blood.
who was
Yeah.
it who
And then
was
it got
it
shortened
who
to
said
just
that?
blood and bloody hell. And
Oh shit. Didn't know that.
Hmm.
See, you learned history here too.
yeah. I read
I
that
mean, who
somewhere.
made that rule? Who made that rule that it was a curse word?
Well, because it came from a literal
Probably Shakespeare.
curse. You know?
I mean, who said a curse word was a bad thing? Who came up with that? You know,
The fucking Yankees.
Probably the people getting cursed. That would be my idea. Yeah. And a lot of people don't know this occultic deep stuff that's all embedded in the language. Basically all English is curses. How about that?
Oh yeah,
Isn't that nuts?
that's nuts.
Crazy.
Think about it, folks. Yeet's probably the most evil word in the English language. Well, let's just go with that. Yeet! It's the worst.
Watch your mouth, please.
I just summoned like 100 demons by screaming yeet.
Yeah. Great.
Wow. Wow. Yep. So the man's coming back. She sucks.
No.
Get out of
No.
here. I don't know how we get made all them twists and turns to that, but we did it. Pros.
Yeah.
How about this story, guys? Omas, the Ugandan giant. I said his name earlier this week by accident, and he just shows up, and now he's gonna go to New Japan and wrestle in a tag team for the tag team championships in Noah. And I know, Reezy, you're into this New Japan business. Do you know the workings of this? How did this come to be?
Well, New Japan, let me just start with, New Japan Pro Wrestling is starting to slowly get back on their feet because AEW has hurt them very badly.
Yeah.
Very badly. AEW it's been a cancer to Japan.
Stealing all their guys. That's what you're talking about, right?
Yeah. I'm not
Raid.
I'm not necessarily familiar with the card right now because I took a break from New Japan, but I believe it's Gabe Kidd versus Kenny Omega.
Mm-hmm.
I believe so. And the whole story with this is Gabe Kidd has been the guy in New Japan, and he feels like Kenny has been gone for years and went over to AEW, the US, and made a name for himself over there. And he's like, how do you come over here and try to be the top guy again? You should earn your spot. Which makes sense.
This reminds me of Cena in The Rock, kind of.
Yes. So he's like, you just don't get to come up here and get free title shots and get put in the G1s and get your spot back. You need to earn that. And since I'm the guy, I'm going to make sure this stops happening, basically. So basically kind of like the Cena and The Rock thing.
It's not no works really involved. He really means this, you think?
Yeah, a lot of it he really means because Gabe Kidd has been doing interviews or whatever and has been wanting to end the partnership with AEW because he feels like which it is killing New Japan slowly.
Yeah.
And
I saw a promo that
AEW,
he put on
they're
AEW.
cancer to themselves. I mean, they're cancer to themselves. They're cancer to themselves. And then, it's crazy because a lot of the things that can help AEW is right in front of them. Small little crumbs in front of them, and they just don't see them. So, don't know.
Yep. You watch any New Japan? I'm sure I've asked you before, Danny, but
not really recently. I've seen clips lately, but yeah, I saw a Gabe Kidd promo that he could have just said, "Oh, AEW is crap and doesn't want anything to do with it." And yeah, like, so even if he is just working, people are still going to have meltdowns over it, and that's it. Now they've seen and heard him say that. That's it for his entire career. There's certain brain types that will just not be able to turn that off now, and they'll just and shriek every time they see him, which is good if that's what he wants.
You know what? We forgot about the chat here. We got Sasha Reigns in the chat. We the man himself, Philly Sports Pride, definitely hated seeing Punk come in his towel. Ella, laugh my ass off. Yeah,
that was disturbing.
Somebody wanted to see it, I guess, but yeah, it wasn't me.
That was disturbing. I'm not sure what was entertaining about that and why that was happening. I know it was after the show, but still, it still got put out there. So it's just kind of like, why was this happening?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
It was the shower cap that got me. I love that.
Yeah.
You know.
All right, let's do a quick RIP for Jeremy Jack Stain Lehman. He was in the NWA. He was a champion over there. I actually like NWA, but we got to do it properly.
Very aware of Jack Stain, RIP.
And it's freaking me out because there's just way too many pro wrestlers dying, in all these different promotions. This is like a weekly thing now, it seems like. But in peace. Mm-hmm. Many with GoFundMe's out there as well. So everybody get well, and sorry you have passed, but we did it proper as always. I did that with Kevin Sullivan and one of his friends. Gave him the proper RIP right online, and then we had to give Kevin Sullivan because he passed away this year. What the heck? This is supposed to be a comedy show, guys. He was
a good friend of the show too.
It's like, what the? It always shows up in my notes. I'm like, why am I writing this down? Maybe we shouldn't do the but maybe we should, right? Maybe we should. We're reporting the news professionally, so
analyzing.
Yeah, hardcore too. Fine-tooth comb going through the analyzing.
Oh my God.
Yeah. How about this? Pissed everybody off. I'm sure you've seen it. Logan Paul possibly fighting in John Cena's last match. When they said last match on top of it too, I was like going out of my mind.
Absolutely not. That's my hot take. Don't do that. It's gonna be like fuck. Kurt Angle's last match. Who the fuck did he fight? It was like somebody he shouldn't have had a last match with.
Baron Corbin.
Yes. Like what the fuck sense did that make?
None, because of the misuse of Baron Corbin, but if Baron Corbin was a big star now, it would have made all the sense.
Right.
Yeah, he's left now, hasn't he? So
yeah, no.
Yeah.
Bad decision.
If they wanted to get some heat, on Logan Paul beating Cena, that'll work. But I don't think he deserves the spot just because he's got a product to promote. Which has just been promoted all over the fucking program, really.
Yeah, get all that Prime stuff out of here. It's like all this junk around the ring too. Like guys are trying to avoid it. It's like, get that shit out of here, man. We get it.
It was cool at first because they never had advertising on the apron and all that shit. So it was like, oh, that's a new thing. But now it's overkill. Like, stop it.
And what's his name? Jake Paul, Logan Paul. I always get him confused anyway, but he should get thrown through that every single match that he does. How he doesn't is crazy. But I mean, he shouldn't fight Cena at Mania. He shouldn't really. Keep him away. Let's not do Cena and Logan Paul. Let's not try. That stinks.
Unless they really want a money grab, they'll have Jake Paul in Logan Paul's corner. Have Mike Tyson in John Cena's corner.
Oh.
That'd be fantastic.
Yeah, that'd be very fantastic. I know there was talks of Logan Paul and Mike Tyson doing something, but it's just kind of like, okay, I guess that could be for giggles and pops, but Nothing.
Yeah,
I'm very
that's cringe.
interested in. Yeah, it's very cringe. I'm not very interested in it.
Not at all.
I can't even imagine that. Like, yeah. Wow, they really would do that though. And of course, Mike Tyson has showed us he'll do like it's more ridiculous. What's more ridiculous than that is doing what he already did with Jake Paul.
Yeah.
And the biting of the he was like this the whole time. He looked like an idiot.
Yeah.
Man,
Well, he
nobody's
was biting this. Yeah, the fight was weird. You know,
it was rigged.
You could clearly see Tyson was pulling back his punches, and you know, and at the same time, I tell people he was biting his glove because he kept getting hit. He was letting Tim hit him, and that does a lot to your body.
See, I think he was biting his gloves to keep himself back from killing him.
Right.
Yeah.
Like he was like, I really want to fucking kill this guy.
Well, that's what he meant by when they asked him, "Why were you biting your gloves?" He goes, "I has a habit of biting things or something." That's he meant that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't buy anything that these guys say. I don't think it. Who knows why he was doing it? It just looks stupid. That's all. Look really stupid. Just out there biting your gloves instead of actually boxing. Okay. Yeah. Man, get the Pauls out of my life. These guys. They're the worst.
Terrible.
That was like the beginning of the end of like anything like cool on the internet. It just went skyrocketed downhill as soon as those two became like known to the world, really.
Yeah.
You know, before that, we were hanging on. There was still cool things, and it's just like one big dumb reality show with this guy. The whole family, you know.
It's like if the internet was a person, it took a shit on us.
Yeah.
And out came the Pauls.
Yep. And again, I blame the children. You guys brought them around. You know, I'll take the yeeting, but I'm not going to take Logan Paul. Nope, not in my house.
Fucking kids ruining everything.
How about this? I saw this little story. Ric Flair says John Cena doesn't want to break his record. My daughter will do it. And it just made me annoyed because Ric Flair's annoying to me, especially the older he gets. He just gets more obnoxious.
Yeah.
And he doesn't really. Well, let him talk about it or what? Like, why are you speaking for John Cena and you're like, yeah, he doesn't want to do that one? And are you doing a mafioso thing right now and putting this out there? Like, you better not, John Cena.
Or what? He's 105. Or what?
He went after the man. Remember that?
Yeah, that was great. That was fantastic.
He's like, I'm the man.
But he was only like 85 then. He's 105.
Yeah. He was a young man then.
Right.
Here's another story locally. Ric Flair was here, several years ago, maybe. He went to one of the VFW type pubs that they have around our areas. And he, of course, got lit up and called one of the male bartenders a fat boy. And got into it with him.
Yeah.
So, and it was on the news, the local news, everything. They were like, and wrestling legend Ric Flair was at, such and such dive bar the other day and called the guy a fat boy. Actually, it was a whole story on it. It was amazing.
I remember.
And I'm thinking, if he's doing that here, he's probably doing that everywhere. Did you see him on Kill Tony?
No. What was that?
Ric Flair went on Kill Tony, which is like a live stand-up show that does like roast things, and they let open micers do like a minute and they critique it and goof around and all this stuff. So he's on one of these shows, Ric Flair. They'll usually have some kind of celebrity or something on. And Ric Flair left in the middle of it because they were goofing on. He didn't like something or other, and he just got up and left the whole panel sitting there. because
Wow.
he didn't want no fun. No, you shouldn't make fun of that. And he took the mic and did this whole speech of like, you guys shouldn't be doing this and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, wow. So he's a whole lot of fun, this Ric Flair. But he knows John Cena doesn't want to break his record. His daughter's going to do it.
Bullshit. That's how he's going to end this. He's
Well-
going to break his record.
Yeah. To be fair, I wouldn't be surprised if WWE did let Charlotte just smash Ric Flair's record, because they've just pushed her. It's just like, hey everyone, we'd really like to sell Ric Flair to you, but obviously we can't. So here's a tribute act. Enjoy.
Yeah.
And they've
it's
just
a shame.
really inorganically pushed her with all these title reigns and just been, me and Doc have spoken before. I don't think she was ready when she was pushed as hard as she was. She's a bit better now, but I don't think she's people are going to be upset, but I don't think she's a natural. I think she had to really, really, really have to try hard to get to the stage she got in to get out of NXT. She can do some stuff. That moonsault to the outside is incredible, but you look at that, the first year or two on the main roster, she was still landing on lasses with her knees. She wasn't landing on her feet behind them. She was just, it's like, come on, you're Charlotte Flair, just as long as you do it, we can film it, we can make it look better. And she was landing on people with the fucking knees, and it's like, yeah, she's not ready for it yet. And she does that moonsault better now, but the amount of times she didn't, I don't know if it was worth it. I'm sure the lasses had to catch it with the face. Don't think so. But I get it. It's marketing. It's Flair. It's a name that's already sold well. So I completely understand why they do it, but just never been a massive fan of hers.
No. Me neither. It's since the beginning. It seems like it's very forced, and she doesn't 100% get, I think, the in-ring shit. Her promos and everything else, and the presentation is fantastic, but the in-ring stuff is not. It's subpar.
Especially when she's trying to be a babyface. When she's
been
been
that,
an obnoxious
disagree
heel,
with you
she does
both,
that
though.
really naturally.
Great
You love her, don't
in-ring,
you? You love her.
better
Yeah, you love
promo.
her. Yeah.
And it's has nothing to do with looks. How about that for once? It's because I think she's actually good in the ring. I think she may not be the best in-ring wrestler that they have right now. She was a few years ago or whatever, but now that they have all these new girls and everything, she may not be the best. Plus she's been injured forever. But she's a great dance partner, I think, to have in the ring. And she's a really good bad guy, because now she's good on the mic and the crowd dislikes her for a lot of the reasons that you guys said. And I think that works in her favor because of when she is a bad, and come on, WWE. I get like switching guys up here and there. Kevin Owens should have always been a bad guy. Try to fool people for a month or two, that and then go right back to being a bad guy, because he can't be a good guy. His good guy run against the bloodline stunk. I didn't care. He was at his lowest. He was getting tag titles with Sami Zayn that nobody cared about. And then Seth Rollins, every time he's a good guy, we're back. Yep. Seth Rollins stinks when he's a good guy. This last run, the only way he made it through this last run as a good guy, in my opinion, allegedly, is because of that silly ass song that he does, which came out of nowhere, because the first Seth Rollins song is a banger compared to this one. But this one gets the crowd involved. So
yeah, Seth being a face, it's kind of like Triple H back in the day. You could deal with him being a face for like half an angle or part of an angle, but as soon as he turns face, there's just like a time limit on how long that's going to last. And it's like, yeah, you're going to have to go back to being a heel, because you're just naturally so much better at that, and it's a lot more convincing, and people just lose interest when you're a face.
Charlotte's right in that class.
And the thing about Charlotte too is that over the years, like people like Cena, The Rock, Hogan, they weren't great wrestlers. You know what I mean? But it's the total package, and that's like overall, Charlotte is really good. You know what I mean? Like I said, the presentation, the promos, she's an awesome heel. All of that shit is great. She doesn't have to be a fantastic wrestler. You know what I mean? They weren't, and they're all legends. So
Man, I mean, I look at it like this with Charlotte, and I say this all the time. I don't think Charlotte is a bad wrestler. I think what happened in her career was they gave her way too much too early, and they gave her way too much too fast. She didn't have to work for anything. She didn't have to earn anything. She hasn't even been in WWE for 10 years, and she's almost beaten her dad's record. And that was an incredibly stupid decision to do, because now it's like it's like nothing that she does matters. Even if she beats the record, nobody's gonna care. It's just gonna piss people off. You know, her career was hurt by creative and the people making dumb decisions backstage.
They're trying to give the women, they've tried to give the women's division some awesome legacy, some big name that's just going to be around forever. And yeah, it's AstroTurf. It's really unnatural. They just stuck a rocket on her, and it was like, this is a flare. We can do this again. And yeah, like you say, it's too much, too soon, and too fast. And
yeah, and it's like they gave her all. I mean, God, they don't do anything with Natty. I wonder
she does that
Natty
double sharpshooter that
like,
looks really, really, really convincing.
Yeah.
Fake face. Jesus Christ. Yeah, she was on Raw, wasn't she? And it's just, yeah.
I know.
Yeah,
Natty
that
went
double
all out
sharpshooter.
and got those BFTs and everything too, bigger than Charlotte's, and they still let her lose in the IC tournament and all that. You know what's funny about Charlotte Flair, real quick? It's not even about her. What's her name? They use their real names online, and it screws me all up. But the business girl from NXT, the Killingsworth, or that's her real name, I believe. But she's got the helicopter business girl gimmick. It's almost identical to Charlotte Flair, and in a way, you can tell it's almost like something Stephanie McMahon came up with. It's like that boss bitch gimmick from back in the day.
Yeah.
So I want her to be back on TV because she's good in the ring and she's super hot. So bring back whatever her name is. I'm sure Sasha Reigns will know. I'm going to have to send her a link in a minute so we can find all these facts out. But did you have anything else you want to say about Charlotte Flair? Anybody?
I think everything was said.
We said it all about you. That's it. Now get out of here and show up at the Royal Rumble or something.
Right.
Here we go. Here's a good one. This is the greatest topic. And we'll get you in after this. Mystery guest Sasha Reigns. Will that thing you sent, Sleaze, about, I remember seeing it online too prior, but the NWO, a new version of it. And we've talked about the anti-bloodline and what that should be. It should be the NWO. Why not bring it back? You own the brand. You could sell 1 million more t-shirts. Have Seth Rollins be the architect of it, like the mastermind leader of the group, the Hulk Hogan, if you will, right? And I got a lot here that they could just run with and make WWE again, not only like how they're killing it right now, but be like scheduled watching for everybody, where you just got to tune in every week to see the fallout. And they can do this by pairing a lot of these guys together. So what do you think, Sleaze?
And it's fantastic, the three that they picked. It was Kevin Owens, Drew McIntyre, and Seth Rollins. Perfect. Because each one of them has a chip on their shoulder about something. You know what I mean? So it would be great to bring them together just to be like, fuck it, we're going to take shit into our own hands as a collective, just like the original, and just cause havoc. I don't want to see, everybody in WWE joining the fucking faction and all that shit like they ruined it. But it would be interesting, in my opinion.
Yeah. What do you think of Rollins, McIntyre, Kevin Owens? What if you add Braun Strowman to the group?
Oh God.
I think he's fought with the one or both of the bloodlines at this point. They can make sense out of that pretty quickly. And what do you think about this? Here's a whole angle I'll work out for you really quick. And Sasha, you have the link. It's been sent out, and just wait backstage for a moment while I finish my thoughts here, and I'll bring you on. But Rollins, right? Think about this. This whole Bloodline 1 and 2 beefing is going on. We can figure that out. And Seth Rollins, towards the end of this thing, comes out to finally help Bloodline 1 with Reigns and all the rest. This could be at Mania. But he turns and he kicks Roman Reigns in the head and stomps him, all the rest. And then they do the big NWO reveal where he's like, yep, I was with these guys the whole time. The Kevin Owens, the Drew McIntyres, Braun Strowman's, even if he's out there at that point. But but just those two especially. And because they'll have some big match towards the end of the year or the end of WrestleMania for this. And it would just be so perfect. The marks would buy into it all the way if they just kept hinting that Seth Rollins is going to help Bloodline 1. Oh, yeah, he's going to help Roman eventually, but he not right now. He's still mad at him, And then he does the Hogan.
You could even do like an angle afterwards where you bring in I doubt it, but you bring in a Hogan, or even I would want to see like Kevin Nash come in as like somebody that along the line got in touch with them and started planting the seeds for this, and then basically passes the torch of the NWO to these new guys. Like that would be fucking interesting to me.
Yep, you still got Nash around. They still want Hogan to come around. So yeah,
it wouldn't surprise me if he makes a return sometime in 2025.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Wouldn't surprise me at all. WWE just has this history of thinking that we want to see old 80-year-old fossils come to the ring and take bumps and do segments. We do not.
Yeah. Oh, Hogan.
If you want to go even further, they could dig up Scott Hall and bring him out.
Oh, jeez! Wow.
Listen, if they could bring people back from the dead, I guarantee you, most of the roster wouldn't even be there right now.
I said that about the Thunderdome when the Thunderdome shut down, and I talked about the idea of them using holograms or getting other actors to play other previous gimmicks. And I agree. If they could have holograms instead of current talent, we would not have our imitation wrestlers. We would not have any modern stuff. We'd have other people playing Jake Roberts. We'd have other people playing the Ultimate Warrior. Other people playing Hogan. If they could do that, they would. I'm glad it didn't go that way because Disney didn't buy WWE. That was my concern. If Disney had bought WWE, I was like, this is going to be holograms. It's going to be like watching fucking Pokemon or something. It's going to be like BattleBots or something like that. So I am happy that it turned out this way. Disney didn't buy it, but it was close for a moment there.
It was close. They were pretty close to buying it. Them and
Disney already fucked up my Star Wars. They can't fuck up my wrestling.
Right.
Yeah, you were putting up with that for a long time back in the day. I remember you and Justin used to always be like, well, it's not that bad. It's still, this good. And I'm like, really? It sounds like everybody's pissed.
I think they're clearly fucking up Marvel right now. Like, Marvel is the shit.
Oh, did you hear about the new Avengers? Possibly it's going to be like all the, new terrible Avengers that have bombed at the box office too. It's just, come on, guys. We've done this with the Joker and all before, talked about how Hollywood, it just stinks. Like, it feels like
they got to bring back Robert Downey Jr. to try to surge this shit back up.
Wow, that's bad. Yeah, that's bad. Dr. Doom, we're just going to change it all up, do this multiverse timeline stuff. And all right. If you think that's what's best for business, how about just make good movies?
Yeah. What an idea.
Crazy idea. But with the NWO stuff, they could do so much with this because there's so many wrestlers involved. Imagine that Seth Rollins, turns, creates a new NWO. They keep adding people to the ranks. Braun Strowman, maybe they even pull, what's his name, away from him. That's hurt right now. Bronson Reed. He'll come back. They'll get all the Browns on there. And then Bloodline 1, now has to link up with Bloodline 2 to create the ultimate bloodline or something. They'll call it the ultimate bloodline. And there'll be like 10 of them in there. The Wise Man, you name it.
That's how it's all going to end, Dr. Hughes. They're all going to come together and make this super bloodline. And they're going to restart this whole bloodline story. And it's never going to... The Rock even said it himself in an interview. It's never going to end.
And you know what? Honestly, if it's working, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Right?
All right.
And it's making money. It's going to continue to make money. There's more fat twos on the way. Even you think there's always more fat twos coming, and they can just keep feeding them to the bloodline. But then that means the other side, the NWO side, is going to have to keep getting bigger and bigger. But they definitely should brand it NWO and not anything else. Don't make up some new stuff.
They should rebrand NWO DX. I mean. How many
Just
times?
Even call it DX. I'd be fine with them bringing back DX or something.
Well, actually,
not with Sean and Trips though. I'm done with that.
No.
Yeah, they kind of choked that. I mean, if they did rebrand, they kind of can't do it right now. Because I mean, the people. I mean, who would you put in it? I mean, it can't be Billy Gunn's boys, because they're in the ketchup and mustard promotion.
I don't know. Let's ask Sasha Reigns. Sasha Reigns is with us.
Yes, I am.
Oh,
hi, Sasha Reigns.
Hugenverse megastar. I can't believe you weren't even following me on the X Twitter machine, Sasha Reigns. What the heck?
What?
Sorry, I've been with a friend who passed away for a few times. He was an Oscar fan.
Oh, jeez. All right, let's do it properly then. We got to always do it. I am sorry to hear that, Sasha Reigns.
Rest in peace.
It's a bummer again, coming in hot, but thank you. You know, with a lot of death talk today on the show. I don't like it.
No. Bad for business.
Yep. Unless it's the Undertaker himself, because he's undead, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
Or John Moxley, because he's Jason Voorhees.
That's true. Let's look at that. That will reset. Let's reset that with looking at Moxley the 13th. Something terrifying. Make us forget about all of our words.
Right.
There we go.
All right. There he is.
Moxley the 13th. Coming to a teenage summer camp near you. So don't go to summer camp, Sasha Reigns.
Yeah, don't go to camp.
Mox might be there. He might try to get you with some sort of farm weapon, you know.
Well,
what do you
like
think
a
about
teddy
this?
bear.
Yeah, teddy bear. Look at anybody notice my name? I'm Dick the Boozer. That's what
yes,
Cornette and them call Dean Ambrose right now.
Yes,
Dean Ambrose.
Do they?
Like I said last week, Edge is still Edge to me.
Yep, Edge is still Edge to me. Christian is still Christian to me, of course. I'm a peep. So I got to keep that gimmick alive. One of the greatest of all time. Did you hear that story? I didn't even write this down. I just heard this somewhere, probably Cornette, that since I brought him up. But the Vince McMahon hated Christian so much. He hated his face, he said. And he was telling people that he hates his face. And he wanted to do a gimmick he saw like on some commercial or ad or something on TV they did on a TV show where they just put a blue dot on somebody's face. And they wanted to do that with Christian, like when he was at his peak.
Yep.
That's funny.
What?
I mean, he definitely hated Christian. I mean, look at what he did to his world title run. Nobody wants to remember that.
Horrible.
Man. Are you a peep, Sasha Reigns?
No, I'm not, because I don't recall him. Like, I just only remember him from from when he was in WWE back then, like when the Rumble, like when he returned.
Mm-hmm. You're more of an edge head. Yeah, you're an edge head.
Yeah.
I knew it. You're just like Justin.
Yeah.
Yep.
Exactly.
That's why me and Justin always had beef because I'm a peep and he's an edgehead. So.
Well, Justin liked the ruthless aggression era, and that just wasn't a good time for me and the doctor.
That wasn't a good. Hey, listen, that was not a good time, and I remind people. Oh God,
Horrible, terrible
Yeah.
booking.
What do you think of our NWO ideas? Bringing them back. Would you like that?
And another good person like to bring, like Heisel last week, LA Knight, since he feuded with Solo.
You know what? Yes.
Oh.
Yes,
Oh.
LA Knight would be perfect. It would just be you know me, Sleaze. I'm an attitude guy through and through. Give me these insanely large factions, and then you have like your B teams and your wolf packs and all this stuff. Like, I love the DX that was back in the DX days. They didn't really add a ton of people, but they still had their tag team. You had China. It was a decent crew. But let's make, if the Bloodline is going to have 20 people, why not put them all on the same team? I've always loved putting all the ethnicities together, right? That's what I've always said. I'm like, put the Asians together, put these together. Just it looks a certain way to me. It feels more realistic in a way, especially if they're going to be driving together and they're quite literally family members. Like, come on. It's hard to believe that Solo hates his brothers that much and the Usos hate each other that much. Like, they kind of have to be on the same team to really maximize that, that cash, Sasha Reigns. With that cold hard cash. Yeet money. So, yep. Yeet. Good guys all the way. And then make them good guys, make them bad guys. Do whatever you want. It's all money.
Yeah, they got to bring back the factions, and they got to bring them back good. Like they've tried over the years, and they, like the fucking. There's been so many, and they just haven't worked out. The only thing working out is the Bloodline, but they need something to counteract that.
Yeah. What's your thoughts on, I know many of your thoughts on Kenny Omega, but if anybody's got something to say, he's coming back. I just saw a clip of him possibly in a match that he's already had, that a guy which comes running out to the ring and did like 7 spins in the air and then landed through him on the table. It looked crazy, but it's also, to me, I'm like, how many more spins do you need to do to make the move hurt? You understand what I'm saying?
Oh.
So, like, Kenny Omega, to me, of course, I could care less that he's coming back. But now the first clip I see is they're like, oh, but look, he just went through a table. This guy just like did a triple somersault on him.
Oh, God.
So
How
I don't,
devastating.
I just don't care, guys, I guess.
Kenny Omega is the LeBron James of professional wrestling.
Ooh. You know what? You hit the nail on the head, Reezy.
Okay, LeBron James fans is gonna come for me. I know it. I'm sorry.
That's right. And the Kenny Omega.
I'm not sorry, but then again.
I just threw up in my mouth. So I mean,
yeah.
Kenny, here's my thing with Kenny. It's not that I think he's a bad wrestler, it's just that he has done a lot of stupid shit in his career, and he does a lot of stupid shit in his career that he doesn't have to do. If you look at Kenny's past, Kenny could wrestle, but he chooses to do dumb shit. Like wrestling blow-up dolls, wrestling children, doing goofy things in matches. That doesn't make any sense at all. And it's kind of like, what type of business are we in? What are we doing?
it's like a circus at that point.
Yeah.
It's a circus, yes. It's a circus. So it's like, if he's going to come back, are we going to get leather coat Bullet Club Kenny? I like that Kenny. But not this goofy, overrated, because he is overrated. Not this goofy, overrated sleaze bag of a guy.
Yeah.
This guy's a goof. Like, And the Bucks are worse. Let's not get to the Bucks.
Oh, they're a lot worse. Yep.
The Bucks are worse. The Bucks are so bad. Before AEW, nobody wanted to work with them.
Yeah.
TNA didn't want them. Well, they wanted them afterwards, but there was a time TNA didn't even want them.
And they actually wrestled in TNA for a while, right?
Yeah, they were Generation Me, and they got dropped because they were two young pricks that just thought they were better than everybody. And they were like, no, you guys are the new kids. You guys are going to start from the bottom and go to the top.
Mm-hmm.
You know? New
That's why him and his
Japan.
buddies. That's why him and his buddies started AEW, because they didn't want to listen to anybody and they wanted to make shit wrestling.
And you see how that, listen, and that's one of the reasons AEW is where they're at now, because when you start making professional wrestlers, when you start making your wrestlers CEOs and COOs and booking decisions, and they book like marks. Yeah, EVPs, and it's like, you got to make some changes.
To the point where they have wrestlers called EVPs and CEOs.
Yes.
It's obnoxious. It really
It's
is.
obnoxious. I think, and matter of fact, I'll say it. Tony Khan's daddy gave him AEW maybe because he wanted him to stay away, because they're partners. They're partners in businesses. They own NFL teams. So maybe daddy wanted him to stay away. Like, here goes your toy. You go over here. Play with this.
Play in your sandpit. Play in your sandpit. Don't bother the adults.
Our business.
Wow. I did see news that he wanted, he liked that he was in pro wrestling because it kept separation between things. There was some report about that. So, yeah, we all kind of see it. It's kind of crazy when you think about it, that you could be that bad at business that your family doesn't even really want you involved with their football teams and all this stuff that they have going on.
I mean, don't be surprised once he comes on TV, on some Vince Russo shit. I mean.
All right, stay with us, Sasha Reigns. Are you shutting us off?
Reigns.
If only the Wi-Fi would have it.
Okay. You were in and out like 20 times there, but it was cool. Yeah.
It's like a remix of Sasha Reigns.
Breaking news for tonight.
All right, give us some breaking news. We're going to talk about AEW some more. We got all this World's End to speak on. So what's your breaking news, Sasha Reigns?
Since AEW is in Orlando, Corbin's there, so he might be showing up.
What? Wow. The Baron Corbin?
Yes.
You heard it here first. Baron Corbin correspondent Sasha Reigns to let everybody know that the Bald Wonder, #Bald Pride, meat-eating Kansas City Chief himself, Gold Glove boxer.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you gotta hit everything, right? All his credits. And he loves heavy metal. He's gonna be in AEW possibly and showing up tonight. So go buy those PLEs.
Oh boy, that should be interesting.
See what I can do for you, Tony. Give me what, $5 million, and I'll do this every week for you.
He pays $5 million for John Moxley, so.
And $1 million for everybody on the panel as well, please. And I'll do this every single week. We'll do it all for you. We'll push it out to everybody on our planet Earth, and you'll get all the ratings.
Yes.
He'll probably do it too. So that's why I went so high with it. Yeah. He's got the money. You got the money. I mean, you bought AEW as a goof. You got the money for this.
Or if you just turned up and said, "Oh, please hire me. Vince was really mean to me." Honestly, I'm pretty sure that's all you'd need. And Tony he'd already had the checkbook out and be like, "Yeah, how much do you need?"
Yep.
I'll be the savior. I'll be the king of independent wrestling. Make sure nobody's unemployed.
Yeah, we could just tell him, Doc, that we did this for 5+ years or whatever, and they never hired us, and we're very mad about that because we were the greatest show on the planet and the universe, and we're jaded.
Yep. And then they had Pat McAfee do it with his 80-pound head instead. The same exact show, but he kicks balls. He's really good at kicking a ball, so okay. That's what you want.
He says words funny as well. It might not be as amusing to you guys, but me hearing him speaking in that manner, it's yeah. You go, oh yeah, that's a funny way of saying it. It's almost a bit like when you used to hear Jim Ross, and if you weren't used to those accents, it's a lot of Jim Ross's vocabulary stood out. And
if you're on this expert panel, you're not allowed to like Pat McAfee. Got it, Sasha Reigns? You don't like him, right? She said no. Look, she's like, she's giving me the look.
Yeah, it was a little wink. I saw her.
She's not frozen at all. She's just like, I don't like him. Thank you. Always team huge here. All right.
So to be big, we just have to do this a lot, right?
Yeah, we have to raise the roof and
you gotta put your head real close to the fucking camera. Like this. Right?
Scream very loudly. Uh-oh. Am I here?
Yeah.
You gotta scream really loud.
Ah!
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 Does that work for a podcast? Yep. I'm not close to the computer, so I can't really dip in like that. It would probably set everything ablaze in here. So
what we can do is in my dojo, I have a punching bag. And out of the blue, I'll just attack this thing.
In lingerie?
Yeah.
That's even more ratings.
I need lingerie.
Yes. Your assistant. Now. bring the
lingerie.
Basket of lingerie. Thank you. Yeah. View City, right? Reezy looks so happy with that. He thinks that's
he's like, I'm not a part of this anymore.
Yeah. Oh no, Sasha Reigns is back. Look at everybody. She's back.
Hi.
Hello. And I also wanted to show you guys my new kitty named Liv Morgan.
Oh my goodness, Liv Morgan.
Little Liv Morgan.
News. Hello, Liv Morgan.
She's totally entertained by the show.
Yes. Everybody should take a nap during these shows. They're great to nap to. I nap to.
Also, I got to see him.
Whoa.
Nice.
Nice. We know your team, CM Punk. Uncle Old School won't like that.
No.
Not one bit.
And I'm also.
There.
What's that?
Oh,
okay. The original tribal chief. It's badass.
Badass.
Yep. You almost got as many shirts as I did from Santa. I'm gonna be eating all year long.
I even have that one, Doc.
You want it? Or you have it, you said?
I have it.
You have this too? Nice.
Gee.
All right, we're killing it.
Killing it.
So fashionable. Oh my gosh. Santa just gave you everything.
Jeez.
I actually learned it off the podcast.
Okay. I didn't hear any of that, but I'm just going to say, all right. You're a little crackly. So if you cut out again, don't worry. If you're backstage for a little bit, get your technical situation figured out there. We got you over here. But do you have any hot takes while you sound great right now? Do you have anything you want to say about wrestling?
That Charlotte Flair was the one who attacked Jade.
Okay.
Right. Yep.
Yep, the Wi-Fi is crazy. We'll try to work on this in the future before we do this. But I'm going to kick you out, Sasha Reigns. Thank you for your appearance. Thank you for the breaking news, Baron Corbin. We didn't have that. It wasn't in my notes.
Who is Sasha Reigns' favorite wrestler before she leaves?
Who's your favorite wrestler? Try to hear this one, Reezy.
Roman Reigns.
Mm-hmm. Roman Reigns. All right.
He's through. All right. Thank you, Sasha. We'll talk to you later.
Okay, bye. I'll watch the show in the chat.
All right, cool. I'll watch the chat for you. There it is. One of the top correspondents in the wrestling business, folks.
Yes.
Just with technical difficulties. That's all right. Yep. Wi-Fi. No problem. I have Wi-Fi problems as well. Yeah.
We all have.
All right. So AEW World's End. 2 of the Continental tourney matches. This thing is still going on, apparently. Ospreay versus Fletcher, and Okada versus Ricochet. It's not bringing me in to watch. I'm sorry. I know they're going to be great matches for those people that like that kind of thing. How will those not be good matches? They're going to be good.
The only good thing that's coming out of this is Ricochet keeps getting shit on X about his stupid promos and then his stupid responses on X, which makes him look stupider. Is that a word?
Yeah, it is. Now it is.
I mean, Ricochet has shown he keeps exposing himself by showing people he's an idiot.
Yeah. Painfully.
Because honestly, his release from WWE was very stupid on his behalf. Because I don't know what he thinks he is, but he was being pushed. He was on TV every night. He was in a segment. His problem was he wanted to be the top guy. You are not a top guy. And now you're in AEW, you're still not the top.
He keeps shitting on his own shoes as well. People are shitting on him, but he's shitting on his own feet.
Yeah, I mean, his promos are awful. The guy clearly needs a manager. There's a reason that Hurt Business doesn't want him. I wouldn't want him.
Yeah.
He said something stupid the other night where somebody's like, "Oh, you took Samantha away from us." And it was funny but cringy at the same time because he was like, "Well, who else is going to make sandwiches for me?"
That's the shits.
And I'm just like, what the fuck?
Yeah, read the room, Ricochet.
Yeah.
Even if you're a bad guy, it's going to turn into go away heat awfully quick if you're literally fighting with marks out here because they got nothing going on in their life. So you shouldn't be answering back to them as a celebrity, quote unquote,
Not if you're that bad. No, like every response has been terrible. Like people have been killing him.
So, yeah, because he'll respond to somebody, they respond back, he responds again. Stop it.
Yeah. And then
the troll,
like you say,
will win.
It might not have been winning. It might not have been winning every week, but
yeah. I mean, WWE's where everybody wants to get to, not the other way around. And I get like if you're in AEW and they're the one promotion, one of the top promotions that picked you up, that you're not going to be. Of course, you're not going to be like, oh, of course, I want to go to WWE because then Tony Khan will just throw you into oblivion or and just keep you at home or whatever, so you can't do anything. So yeah, I don't know.
The only way to make this work, to be honest, is the two biggest pieces of crap that are in wrestling and online right now are Ricochet and Sasha Banks. Put them together, and it will be an explosion of just shit. But you have to have somebody to write this. Don't let them use their own devices.
An explosion of cringe.
Yes. That could be the name of their faction.
Yep. I like it. They really should do that. That is a great idea.
I mean, Sasha Banks' promos are so bad. I don't have a problem with her wrestling. It's just her promos and just her. That is just kind of like, what are we doing here?
Yeah. But they should capitalize on that.
Yeah, like you're clearly showing us you don't have writers. And if you do have writers, you have shitty writers. And they all need to be fired. Like, what is Sasha Banks doing? There's nothing. Since she's been in AEW, if somebody asked me, what's your favorite Sasha Banks moment? I couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you. That's how bad it's been.
Yeah. But they should have her come out and then say, hey, Ricochet comes out. They could do that cringe shit together. He could even bring out his phone and say, hey, this guy attacked me and I'm going to fucking respond and feed upon all the shit that people hate them for. She could do her dances. He could talk just in general. Fucking get that going.
He can start doing flips while she's dancing. Yeah.
Right.
Ring of Honor.
Samantha can come out with sandwiches.
That's right. That sounds like a Ring of Honor thing. Just they'll go over there with Jericho and kind of become obsolete.
Yeah.
You could have Jericho as their like manager. Holy shit.
That's
Jericho's
right.
another guy, man, that is like, it's time to retire, my guy.
Wasn't he getting the please retire chant?
Yeah, he has to. I mean, this guy was once a great performer. He was a great wrestler. And now it's like, dude, like, you got to pick a new hobby.
Hobby. Well, he has a million of them already. He's rock star. He's a podcaster. He's got the
Nobody
buckle.
listens to Fozzy. I mean, his wrestling sucks more than his band now, and his band sucks. Fozzy is a horrible band. I've never met anybody that said, I'm a fan of Fozzy.
Shits.
Yeah, Bret Hart doesn't even like it. He's Canadian.
Oh yeah. Canadians don't even like Fozzy.
Yeah.
I'm sure Canadians don't even want to accept Fozzy. You're like, yeah, they're not Canadians. We'll trade them. We'll trade them.
They got Nickelback above Fozzy over there.
Oh
Yeah.
You know, I seen Nickelback with the Cottonmouth Kings and who else? Kitty and the Get Up Boys. That was the weirdest set of bands ever. But this was back when Nickelback, they were just, you know, a touring road band kind of, and they were way more hardcore than the Nickelback that we all remember now. They got that one slow song in, it was a hit, and they were like, oh, forget all that like heavy stuff. We're just gonna do like lady music now.
They went the way of Green Day.
Yep. Kitty.
Who I hate.
Kitty too. They're still out there playing the all-female rock band Kitty. I don't know, I'm getting into all this, but yeah, it's just Fozzy. You're not on any of their levels. The Cottonmouth Kings are better. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, which is bad.
Cottonmouth Kings.
Fucking
like an ICP subgroup.
Yeah.
The JCW.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh God.
Yeah, Tony got to get rid of Jericho. That's one guy. If Tony, if you're already killing your company, don't kill it more than this. Get rid of him.
All right. How about if they do this? He can stay if he becomes a juggalo. What do you think of that? Jericho just puts the clown makeup on every week.
Pull faces.
Breaks his neck a couple dozen times like Shaggy 2 Dope did wrestling.
Yeah, he's already a fucking clown, so I mean it works.
Yeah. He wants to be Vince Neil instead.
Oh God.
Yeah.
He's fat and old.
Motley Crue. I'm sorry, you were once my favorite wrestler, Chris Jericho. Still are. You're legendary, right? But yeah, I don't know. With all the rumors flying around the past few years, and you know the dad bod thing and the bands, and it's not like you got to go away and hang it up or anything. But you know, just stop wrestling. And you don't have to get beat up anymore. Throw yourself around. Do you really need wrestling that much? You got everything else. Yeah.
What do you laugh at, fuckface? Shut your mouth.
No, maybe laughing.
Oh, a little bit of the bubbly.
Yes.
Yes, that's
little bit of the bubbly.
Podcaster.
He needs to bring back the list. Like, come on.
But who knows? Maybe he's got a lot of kids and grandkids. He's got to pay for all these people or something.
Yeah, and I think that stuff. So I think that bubbly stuff that Chris Jericho, I think that's so. I could be wrong, but I think that's so bad. They had to sell it. They started selling it like on. I could be wrong on like. Wasn't that on WWE Shop or something? Something had to do with WWE.
No, AEW, because he was in an AEW.
AEW, yeah. Okay.
I have a bubbly thing, but it's with an action figure inside. That's the cool one.
I don't think anybody brought that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I'm wrong, but Jericho, man, he's killing his legacy.
He is, and it's sad, and I hate to see that.
Again, like LeBron James.
Yeah.
Just go away. We've had enough. You don't have to take all them
Oh,
steroids.
The State is a great album.
Which
Leader,
one?
Leader of Men.
Oh, that's your jam?
Mm.
Is that Fozzy you're talking about?
Oh God.
Yeah, speaking of music, is Fozzy better than Nikita Lyons' new album?
Nikita Lyons has an album.
I didn't know this.
Yep, from NXT. I saw a clip of it. She did a music video. You know, she's
That's
dancing
another
around.
one. I think, I don't know, man. That girl is pretty cringe. Not just on the mic, but she's very cringe on the mic, in the ring. I don't know if she's got to be doing something to keep a job.
Her ass and tits.
Yeah, she looks amazing. That's why.
That's what it is.
Yeah, man. All that surgery, man. Hey.
Is that real? Are those fake boobs?
I've heard they're real. I don't know. You never know.
It all looks real to me. I don't see how you can fake all that, you know?
Right.
They've gotten better with the tits over the years because you used to be able to be like, all right, those are fake. But now it's like...
It's tough to tell now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's tough to tell. And I mean, Nikita Lyons, she's been injured more than she's been wrestling.
Yeah.
In her career. She's been injured more than she's been contracted with NXT in her career. So she's had more injuries than matches to me. Because she's been injured a lot. Best thing for Nikita Lyons, if this is really going to be a thing for her, at least put her in a tag team with somebody that can make her look good. Like Bianca was to Jade.
How about
they can do?
I'll do you one better. I think what they're doing recently with this Adonis character over there, you know, how he's the lover boy and all this, and now he's kind of been linked up with her. She should be staying away from the ring because she gets injured all the time.
He needs to properly go away for a little bit.
Right.
Yeah. You think she needs to go away?
To AEW.
Oh, yeah. That'll be a company killer right there.
Well, they're doing so much cringe shit over there. She'd fit right in.
That's true.
Oh, yeah.
I still want Kevin Owens. I almost had a glimpse of it last night, too. They're like, Kevin Owens, you know, you're going to be fired if you don't relinquish this. And then, of course, Cody Rhodes, his stupid ass had to come out and save Kevin Owens and go, no, we don't want him to get fired and relinquish the belt. I want to fight him again with a bad neck. And then gets dropped on his head again.
Here's my thing with that. Listen, I love this Kevin Owens, don't give a crap. But my issue is that who cares? Kevin Owens is holding a title that isn't even a real title. He can't defend it. It's not a real title. The real title Cody has. It's not like he can defend the title. So to me, it's like, why does Cody care about a replica Wounded Eagle title he could just buy off the shop?
Right, and him and The Rock should do a match together, and whoever loses has to give the other one the title, the fake title that they have.
Walking around with a toy title that's not even a real championship, and they're fighting over it. It's like, what are we doing here?
I always love when they do that, though. It's so fucking entertaining.
Oh yeah, it's fucking hilarious. It's like, come on, man.
Man, we really don't want to talk about AEW because we keep going back to WWE, but you know, here's some other. You know what? I'm looking at this card tonight for World's End and AEW, and the whole thing is fucking championship matches.
Yeah.
Like, except for the 2 tournament matches, I believe everybody has a title in all these matches. There's an international title on the line. There's a title in a street fight.
Really? I just assume they're all fake. If they're on television, it's just...
It's wild. How about the Dynamite Diamond Ring?
That's a fucking title?
It says MJF versus Adam Cole, which I don't care about either.
Yeah, so basically, it's not a title. It's just a fucking diamond ring that's used as a championship, basically. It's
really
stupid. So they're fighting over a ring. The winner gets the diamond ring. That's it.
So this is just like the Oofa Loofah that we talked about last week,
Yes.
possibly becoming a title, and we didn't really care for that either.
Yes. The diamond ring is like the Oofa Loofah.
Or it's like the crown jewel fucking rings they gave because they couldn't take the belts from Saudi Arabia.
That's exactly that's exactly what it is.
Wow. Yeah, they couldn't take anything away from there. Really?
Yeah, I mean, like, it's crazy. It's crazy because it seems like these wrestling companies are so out of ideals. They come up with the stupidest shit ever. It's just uncreative, like Hollywood, uncreative. Like, what are we doing?
It's like being too woke. Like, everyone's getting a fucking award now. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah, even Mox has a title, right? He's the main title guy, I believe.
Is he?
Do we even know? I guess so. I think he was talking about it the other night. He's in a fatal 4-way with Hangman and Orange Cassidy, Jay White.
Oh, I don't even know. I looked at the card too, and I'm like, what are all these fucking titles? Like, why do you need so many fucking titles?
You back with us, Danny?
Yeah, sorry about that.
That's all right.
Oh.
Yeah, you were saying weird stuff. And I'm like, or like things that weren't lining up. I'm like, wait a second, what's going on?
I was in the past or the future, one of the two.
Yeah.
Oh, God. I mean, I agree with you, Sleaze. I look at it like I don't mind a lot of titles if they mean something. A lot of these titles have no meaning. It's like the Intercontinental U.S. title, basically same title. No special stipulations, no nothing. All of these belts with AEW, they're all the same title. They aren't different from another. So it's kind of like, why are they here?
Right.
Like the Mercedes Moné. She got a TBS title. It's
So,
is that really a mid-card title? Because it sounds like one. It looks like one.
So the TBS title is an undercard women's title. It's just the undercard women's title, kind of like the TNT title is an undercard women's title. That I didn't have a problem with. But I have a problem with these international titles, these continental titles, these...
Yeah.
What are we doing? Like, come on. Like, it's getting silly.
Yeah.
It's getting silly.
You know what they're going to do? When they start streaming on Max, they're going to have the HBO Max fucking belt.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Probably.
What are we doing?
I
You're the
wouldn't-
champion of a fucking streaming service. You're the champion of a fucking cable network. What?
The whole Continental tournament wraps up tonight, too. So not only are you going to get those two matches, you're going to get the winners of those matches going up against each other for a title.
Right.
You know, like, I like title matches. That's cool and everything, but we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them. Is this WrestleMania? Yeah. Jeez.
It's amusing because when Vince was around, people would complain about how Vince would let advertising get in the way of his wrestling show. And personally, for me, WWE still do that. They are very guilty of doing that, but not as bad as Vince. But when AEW came around, they were going to change all this and they were going to avoid the same mistakes Vince made. So they've got their belts and they've called them TBS, TNT, and it's like you're now putting another company in front of what you're actually trying to do, in my opinion. And by calling it the TNT and the TBS instead of, and I don't think they should just be like, oh yeah, the women's version of that. I don't like this whole, oh, this is the women's US title. This is the women's IC title. Hey, it's the women's Hell in a Cell. It's like, give them their own shit. Don't just have them doing tribute acts, because when you do that, it's almost like you're warning people. Like, yeah, sorry everybody, we're having the Royal Rumble, but it's not the normal Royal Rumble. It's the women's Royal Rumble. So don't get your expectations set too high. Remember, it's just the. So when they use that qualifier of having to put women's in front of it, I think it takes away from what they're trying to do. So yeah, the belt problems either side, but if you call it, the original point was the names of the TV stations. It's just a bit cheap, and it's a Vinceism that I thought Tony was going to avoid.
Unfortunately. He hasn't. Yeah. He went right into it.
Yeah.
I never liked it. I think the belts themselves look good.
Yeah.
But yeah, having a TV branded thing on there is not good.
It's like
Some
me
of the
walking
belts are
around with
really
like
nice.
it's like me walking around with like a fucking 7-Eleven championship. You know what I mean? Like what?
Yeah, so that was pretty much all the matches. We went through them. As far as when I look at this card, I'm not really I'm not blown away by any of this, and it's all their top guys. You know, I love Thunder Rosa too, and she's going to be in a street fight. That's probably the one I look forward to most, because Mariah May really isn't much, and give Thunder Rosa the belt back. And then
Yeah, we have a history with Rosa, you know. Shout out to Thunder Rosa.
Yep. That's the one thing I'm looking forward to AEW. Because has she even been wrestling lately?
Not lately. You know,
No.
they rarely put her on TV now.
Yep. Which tells me she's probably losing tonight, I believe so.
I don't know why she hasn't made the jump somewhere else. Like there's not a lot of people in AEW that I can sit there and say like, oh my God, they need to go here or there. But Thunder Rosa needs to move up. Like
yeah.
Didn't she upset some people backstage?
Yes.
She upset a few. Yeah. I can't remember the details, but I do remember. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I think it was. It had a lot to do with performance. She made some comments on a lot of the girls' performance backstage, and they weren't happy about it.
Right.
And she seems a little stiff too.
I wouldn't say she's stiff. I just think what it was. I just think what it is. A lot of the girls there, a lot of the talent in AEW, they need work in the ring.
Mm-hmm.
And with Thunder Rosa, with her how long she has been wrestling, and with her coming from Mexico, them getting in the ring with Rosa, they're gonna get hurt because it's not Rosa, it's them. So I mean, it's not, and I don't think Rosa's trying to cause problems, but as I see her in interviews, it just sounds like she's going to be out of there when her contract's up. She just doesn't seem interested in kind of in AEW. So hopefully she moves around and does something.
Hopefully the WWE pick her up. I mean, better late than never. Like, just same thing with LA Knight. You know, like, let's get on this WWE. What the hell? I knew this like several years ago that she was a thing. Just put her in NXT. You put all the other ones on NXT. You know, why not her? Maybe because she is a little rough, possibly. That's the only thing I can take away from it. That, you know, she's got everything else. She got the online presence. You know, she'll show the booty when necessary. Let's go.
But it was probably one of those situations, and Mark Henry went through this too when he went to AEW, is that whenever you have somebody that is a veteran or has experience and they want to put their experience to that roster and that management, they push it away. So she probably got pissed off because she's only trying to help.
Mm. Yeah. Hey, speaking of Mark Henry, he was just posting online earlier today that WWE sent him a Happy New Year's card, and he was very pleased with it. You know, because he's just like, wow, a little respect goes a long way and all this stuff. And it was a whole thing like, oh, thank you for your service and all this, and you're a Hall of Famer and this and that. And nobody even signed the card. It was just like, you know, but they recognize Mark Henry, and that's what Triple H, it seems like he's trying to do a lot more. It's what the Washington Commanders, the Redskins there, the football team, their coach started doing that when he took over, trying to give more respect to the legends and the people that have come through and helped build it to where it is now. And it gets you over like that. It's the easiest babyface move in the business, and to not do it means that you probably knew it. I don't know why. Maybe Vince did some things like this, but it doesn't sound like it. He was more old school, I'm sure, and just if at most would send like, you know, a shitty watch to somebody like for a bonus for Christmas.
I mean, if you got into your car after having a few too many beers, or if you got a bit with a lady in a hotel, Vince would be straight there to sort out these problems, from what I've heard. But looking after people that have, spent a lot of time working for you, and he's not going to keep in touch with all of them and send them a card. Some of them he had a real vested interest in making sure they're okay, but others not so much.
Yeah, it's weird.
But it's nice that Triple H is rebuilding those bridges because it does look good. And yeah, like I say, why wouldn't you? You can make a little marketing thing of it. They can make a little marketing thing of it. I've been called home to go and do a Hall of Fame thing. Yeah, I don't know why. Yeah, they should do it more.
I do think Triple H is trying to do things differently from how Vinny did things back in the day. I think because with the partnerships with Japan and him doing more shows and giving talent more opportunities, I do believe they're trying. It's just that a lot of the creative writers, they gotta sit down with them to come up with some better stuff, because it seems like the only focus right now is the Bloodline storyline. There's a lot of other stories that need work over there.
Right. And I think that they can do not as long as Bloodline storylines, but definitely for your mid-carders, there's storylines there that should be extended and pushed a little more. I mean, if you're going to do this whole story thing and it's working and it's making you money, why not do it with the mid-card and lower card matches too? And then we can really see what they're made of as far as like if they could ever even reach that ceiling, because that's pretty much the top of what wrestling is right now, is a Bloodline storyline, something that can be made into a TV movie, almost a never-ending story deal that everybody's kind of invested in one way or another. There's no, because the Bloodline it is taking over too much, and it's because I think the other stories are week to week. Let's try this, let's try that, let's like set more things. You already know you love LA Knight. Give them a 6-month plan on because they touched on it a little bit when LA Knight had the US title, that he was going to go from country to country and defend it against like their country's top guy possibly or whatever. And that would have been a cool storyline to have. Now you got that title, instead of just bouncing it around, go, oh, all right, Andrade has it, and Carmelo has it, or whatever they're going to do with it, that they just keep it on one guy and make it an international deal. I think with Shinsuke Nakamura, there's a talk of him going back to Japan with the title to continue it. So I guess that's a form of doing it. But yeah, that it actually does make sense when you now that I have actually thought it out. They are kind of keeping up with that whole thing, and that's something they need to do with all their titles. If you're going to have all these titles, there has to be something, a storyline attached to it, other than, oh, this guy just wants it and now I'm going to fight next week.
And more title defenses. Because I mean, Shinsuke won that US title, and it's not just him. He won that US title, and we have not seen him defend that title.
Did you just go into your bunker? You're in like the tunnels underneath Mexico.
Tunnels underneath Mexico. That's funny. That's so funny.
He's coming back right now with a whole friggin' a bunch of confetti and stuff.
That is so funny. That is so funny. The tunnels of Mexico. But yeah, we haven't seen Shinsuke defend that belt at all.
No. Has he even wrestled since then? Or am I missing something?
I don't even think he has. No, he hasn't. And it's just kind of like, that's another thing I don't like. I mean, you guys, there's a lot of bull crap on the show you could take out. I mean, he's been champ for 30 days. He should have at least defended that title at least 5 times by now.
Yeah, it's like these are TV things. Like Raw and SmackDown should have a main title match like every week.
Yeah.
And I see that now you get the women's belt. They're not even doing anything with them yet. I know they just got them recently, but it's been a week and a half or so.
They've got them for sale on the shop zone, I'm sure.
Yeah.
It's not worse than the women's tag team titles.
That's another thing I wanted to ask you guys, because maybe I missed it. I know they pretty much got rid of the main WWE women's tag team titles. Like they just disappeared. Or they kind of mentioned it like it was going away. I remember, like vaguely remember. But the NXT women's tag team titles, they had those too. What happened to those?
That's a good question.
They were just completely dismissed, I believe. At least to me, I watch all this shit.
That's a good question.
So both are gone because I thought at least they would.
No, because Bianca Belair and Naomi are tag champs.
That's right.
Oh.
Wow.
And the
But that's
reason
how much
we
you
don't
give a
remember
shit.
that, and
That's
the reason
like-
we don't remember that because they don't defend the damn belts.
That's right.
But it's a big angle at the minute that they're running with.
Yeah,
so
it is.
they're in
you
an
should
angle.
Right,
remember
it
that
is.
quickly.
It's supposed to be, but it's not about the titles. It's about who attacked Jade Cargill.
Right.
So I'm so not even focused on those titles. I didn't even know they existed. Wow.
Too many titles. Too many.
Yep. Wow.
That's crazy. I'm a wrestling expert. I watch all this stuff. I didn't even know that the women's tag titles were still a thing. They did get rid of the NXT ones, though. That's probably what threw me off because I'm like, one of them are definitely gone, and I haven't heard of the other one in a long time. So, yeah, you need to like make something of this, guys. Like, I don't know what you put some LED lights on them shits or something because I have no clue.
Yeah, that's amazing because I totally just fucking phased out that they were champions. I really did. Wow.
Man, yeah.
Do better.
Yeah, that the NXT women's roster is better than the main roster, in my opinion. And I know I love Tiffany Stratton. I love Io Sky. There's really a handful of them that I would keep. Valkyrie there.
Yeah.
She's great, even though she's not on TV a whole lot. There's so many women. It almost, but like the Baileys are stale at this point. Like what to me, it's like, why is she even out there? She has no character. She's okay in the ring, I guess. At this point, it's Natty. It's nice seeing you around here and there, but you're not really necessary. Meechin, get out of here. Piper Niven's cool. It helps with the Chelsea Green gimmick, but is she really that necessary? She had one championship match, got beat, done. It's one of those types of situations, even though I like her. But she's more fitting for NXT. There's a bunch of girls on NXT that I could name that should be on the main roster right now. So,
yeah, they need to flip flop a lot of people, bring people down and then bring people up.
But it's just they'll never do that. They would never send Bailey to NXT unless it was in a Natty situation like 10 years down the line from now.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just kind of weird to me that I'm way more excited about watching the NXT women than I am the regular roster women. And maybe it's because they're missing the man and Charlotte and all these people. Like, I love to hate the man. So she's not terrible in the ring. She's good in the ring. But it's hard to buy into. I'm more of a Candice LeRae type of guy. She's actually over with me now. I watched her last night on SmackDown. She's little, but she's like, she's bad and she's mean and all the rest. And she's with Nia Jax, which makes everything make way more sense. That pairing right there is perfect to me.
Yeah.
Did you guys watch SmackDown at all tonight or last night?
Yeah.
So we had the Cody appearance. He did what do you want to talk about? We touched on this a little bit. Kevin Owens was out there to relinquish his belt to the police. They should have had the police there. That's would have been the smart thing to do. And then they would have backed off because Cody Rhodes is there to be a tough guy and show everybody that, he can still walk and things. And Kevin Owens ended up stomping on his neck again. So good job, Cody Rhodes. What do you want to talk about that?
What do we want to talk about?
Yeah. Do you guys like that whole gimmick that was going on last night?
No.
No?
I noticed one thing I did notice, the belt that Owens has got, I know they keep calling it the Winged Eagle, and thankfully Corey Graves was like, will you please stop calling it the Winged Eagle? What other kind of eagles are there? And I was like, thank you, because it's been really annoying me. And I'm like, they're all winged. Or they should be winged by default.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. The belt sits on Owens' shoulder really nicely. It's a really well-designed belt, but then that big giant block of fucking sheet metal that Cody has just sort of like goes up and keeps coming up here. Whereas the other belt wraps around and it just looks like a wrestling belt. And Cody's it just makes Cody's look ridiculous. It just makes it like a stage prop and a really tacky one, sadly.
Yeah, it looks like a real belt.
Mm.
I mean, WWE has a history of creating some ugly belts.
Yeah.
The worst,
The
in my
spinner.
opinion, are the tag belts, the red and blue ones, the silver on it, the bronze ones were even
It's like the
Oh,
gladiators.
yeah.
It's like all the
Ugh.
Greco-Roman
Oh, then they
gladiators
went
wrestling.
to remember the Crayola titles?
Yeah.
I call it the Crayola titles.
But like it totally throws everything off when you're holding bronze titles and you're going, yeah, we want the gold and we got the gold. And it's like, that's not gold, bro. That's
No.
bronze. That's silver. They're red straps. Like, it's stupid.
And a 400-pound lazy twat on the front row is also holding one. So, you know, not that much of an accomplishment.
Yeah. Then what else happened in the show here? Braun and Austin Theory was a thing. They actually had a match, which was weird. I thought Braun and Carmelo were, you know, in this feud. They both beat each other. Carmelo beat him up backstage, but I guess this is to add more people to things. So I get it. I like what they're doing story-wise, is trying to bring in as much of the talent that they have to fit on TV. But Austin Theory almost picked up Braun a couple times, kind of picked him up, you know, for a few seconds. It looked like the end maneuver he was going to do it looked like he was actually trying to go for his finisher, like the go to sleep type of thing, but he couldn't keep him up. If that was a work, it fooled me. Then Braun finished him, pinned him for the 1, 2, 3. And we asked for it last week. Where's Grayson Waller and Austin Theory? They're listening. They gave it to us. So that happened. I don't know what else happened with Carmelo. Carmelo took on Sami Zayn. That's what. He was out there handing out here, look, I beat up Braun Strowman on Christmas cards. And it was like a picture of him beating up Braun Strowman. And Sami Zayn didn't like that he was butting in. Ended up beating him, which I don't like that. You know, Sami Zayn to me is down here, Carmelo Hayes to the moon right now, and go to AEW, Sami Zayn. So that happened, I guess. And
Sami Zayn is a fucking bum. That's what I've written down.
really,
Yeah. I'm done with him. A fucking bum. A hobo.
I mean, I look at it with Sami Zayn, and I say this all the time. If you take the Bloodline storyline away, what was Sami Zayn doing? He was struggling on the roster, could have possibly been released. Yes, fans chant his thing when he come out. I'm not talking about that. Booking wise, and the way he was being promoted and booked, he wasn't doing anything before the Bloodline storyline.
No.
It's very possible he would have been released.
mm-hmm.
Even when he got kicked out the Bloodline, they still had to add him in like with Jay and Jimmy, because it was helping him. Sami Zayn, it's not that he's a bad wrestler, it's the fact that he's not interesting. He needs I can't think of the word, but he needs things to help him be interesting. If that makes sense.
Yep, he's Bailey right now.
Yeah.
Before
absolutely.
he said, remember, when he first joined this bloodline, it was awful. It wasn't until he did that promo which actually this wasn't even scripted, where he said, "Oh well, Jay's not feeling Uzi." When he did that
it blew up. Yeah, and I'm totally with you. I think Sami Zayn Bloodline is the best Sami Zayn you'll ever get.
Yep.
Yeah. When he left and won the titles and was fighting against the Bloodline, nobody cared about him and Kevin Owens anymore. You know, and then they lost those titles and they went even further into obscurity.
Yes.
And then you can't keep pairing them up together, right? So now they're split up again. And where are we now? Kevin Owens is the heel I told you she should have always been. And Sami Zayn is right back in the Bloodline where he needs to be, because when he's not there, nobody cares.
And you know, one of the reasons nobody cares is because when you continuously write And when you consistently write and do the same shit over and over, Sammy, KO, same situation. They're friends. KO turns on them, power bombs them a bunch of times, beats them in the rival, beats them in like every single match. Then they're friends again, and then they go back and do the same thing. People seen this a million times to the point where people got like, okay,
Yeah,
we don't even want to. We're sick of this. So that's what I said with WWE. Like, we don't want to see Sammy and KO again. We don't even think about doing it.
It's beating a dead horse at this point.
Yes. Yes.
And that's just from the WWE and NXT side of things. If you watch them in Ring of Honor, it's just even more drawn out because they did all this in Ring of Honor, making weird contraptions with ladders and tables in the ring and powerbombing each other through it, and just they didn't leave anything for them to do elsewhere, but they have done. They reset and they relocated.
If Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens go to AEW, that would help AEW so much, and they could do all that shit over again, even, and they'd be eating it up over there. But here, that is done with. We've done it so many times, and that was KO's basically entrance into the WWE, and for all the casuals and everybody else, was he did the power bomb off the side of the mat to Sami Zayn, his best friend, and then came right up and faced John Cena, and it's been shaky ever since.
Yeah. Well, the biggest thing is it's like you said, Doc. It's whenever they turn him into a face, it just taints it. Like, he needs to be a permanent heel.
Yep.
In anything he does, then he works.
It's like stepping on the brake and pulling the e-brake, like, and when he turns heel or a good guy, you're like, no. And all his momentum is just completely stopped. And then he has to become a bad guy again, and everybody expects it, So it's not like a huge surprise. Yeah, I don't know. Like, did Jake the Snake have like a ton of like babyface runs, like Seth Rollins?
Yeah, a couple, but
yeah, but he still stayed the same character. He still stayed like Jake the Snake.
Yeah,
Flipper, yeah.
Yep, not these guys. They're good guys. Chelsea Green, she won the U.S. women's U.S. title, and she's the first. I love when she came out. She's like, I'm the first, the this, the that. I'm the youngest. I'm the oldest.
I'm the longest reigning.
Yeah, it's like all the obvious things because you are the first one, right? And totally disses Piper Niven. She was talking, I want to thank this person. It's always been by my side, and it's me. That whole gimmick. It's great. I think she's what's best for business. She's been good for a while. She's been over with the crowd. She's actually a better wrestler than I think people let on, at least spot wise. She does all the spots and they look good. My thing is, for the main roster, it's like we got to keep her. We got to keep the Rhea Ripleys and the Liv Morgans and things. There's so much waste on there. One of them is, I'm sorry, don't beat me up, Big E, but it's Michin, Yoko Ono's sister there. And she stinks. What else do I have to say? And I liked her in TNA, but she's more NXT, she's more AEW, TNA, all the rest. She's not supposed to be up there with the top gals. All right. No. And like I said, it's not anything against you, Michin. I don't want Bailey really around right now. Let her go somewhere and figure out a new character, bring back the old one, do whatever you got to do. But this Bailey right now, who's just Egyptian, get out of here. Boring.
She's Natalia right now, like way too soon.
Yes.
That's what she is.
Yep. Bailey is natty. I just wrote it down.
Facts.
She needs big fake boobs, I guess. Match
and
the big
whatever
fake
she's
butt.
done to her face, so now she looks like Dana Brooke. Also, they do the same thing. They go into the face shop and it's like, I'll have that one, please. And they all for some reason point at the same face on the wall, and it's just like, why?
Bailey, Bianca, and now Naomi took on Tiffany, Nia, and Candice last night. Talked about that match a little bit. Candice stuck out to me because she's actually looked better than ever, teamed up with Nia Jax. The good guys won. And Tiffany tried to put that briefcase in again, the Money in the Bank, and cash it in on Nia Jax. And Candice LeRae said, no, it's not happening.
Here's maybe an unpopular opinion, but I am so done with the Money in the Bank cash-in fucking shit. Like, I'm so done with the pay-per-view. I'm so done how they draw these things out. Like, I'm done with that whole gimmick.
Yeah.
But then how are you going to sell briefcase?
Nobody. Oh God. I don't think anybody goes on WWE Shop to buy Money in the Bank briefcase.
No, you don't see him in the crowd. You don't see him anywhere.
Right. And my thing with this Money in the Bank match thing, they have overdid this and played this out for so long. Yeah. Nobody wants to see it anymore. My original ideal for the Money in the Bank would have worked. I said the Money in the Bank briefcase should be random. You don't know what you're going to get. You can get a world title shot and a continental title shot. It could be anything. That would have been more better. But the thing is they do these Money in the Banks, and it's always the same ending. You win the Money in the Bank, and you cash in on whoever's on your brand. The person becomes champion. It's stupid. It's gotten to the point where nobody cares anymore. And nobody cares. It's not. They don't. Honestly, it doesn't. It used to help build future talent. It doesn't do that anymore.
No, it doesn't. And especially this year with her holding on to that and teasing it so many fucking times, it's really tainted that whole gimmick.
Yeah, it seems like they've done it with her almost the most out of anybody. It's a weekly occurrence that she's almost cashing this thing in.
That's what I'm saying. It's gross. It's when it finally happens, it's going to be like, yay. You know, there's no mystery to it. There's no like surprise. She's been doing it every fucking week, like you said. So it's bad.
I feel like
who came up with that Money in the Bank idea?
Jericho?
Chris Jericho, and it's as stale as he is.
Oh, poor Chris.
Like Chris, it needs to just go away for a little while because, like you say, it's expected. You know it's going to happen at a certain time of the year. It happens twice because the women have obviously got to have a tribute act version of it. So the match itself isn't special anymore because on the same night, you see the same thing twice. And it takes the impact away from that. And they do end up running similar angles. I think if we all looked back for each of the Money in the Bank winners each year, we'd actually see a lot more similarities in this year as previous years. But because they don't stand out and they're so insignificant, we forget. It's like, what Money in the Bank cash-ins do you remember? Ziggler's was impressive. That was really memorable. Seth Rollins. Van Dam, but that was often overshadowed by Edge's because people were like, oh my God, Edge, the ultimate opportunist. And it's like, I'm pretty sure Van Dam did his first, didn't he?
Yeah, Ziggler, Edge. Well, I don't even think there's been 10. I tell people all the time, if you're talking about great Money in the Banks, I doubt there's been 10. I doubt there's been 10 great Money in the Banks. Because I only could think of maybe 5. And that would be Rob Van Dam, Edge, Ziggler, and then it gets kind of sketchy. You know.
Oh,
Mr. Kennedy could have been good. Mr. Kennedy's could have been good, but that all got messed up, so we can't even count that.
Well, Heather in the chat had a good question. She's like, when is she going to cash in? Which made me think of a question. So can somebody come out when somebody wins the Royal Rumble and cash in to get that opportunity?
No, it's cash in just on the people that hold titles.
All right.
So
I couldn't remember if that was ever a thing or I don't know.
I'm sure she'll do it over this WrestleMania season because she pretty much has to. You can't hold it a whole year, I think, up until WrestleMania.
Right.
Well,
so
what if Tiffany Stratton wins the Rumble while Money in the Bank while Money in the Bank, and then she loses her match at Mania, but when she loses, she cashes it in after her match.
That'd be fantastic.
Could happen.
That would be fantastic. She gets pinned by the champ, and then cashes it in and wins. So basically 2 matches. That would be hilarious.
That would be good. I'm all for the swerves and the mix-ups and all this stuff that they got going on. Every time they do it, I love it. Even Ciampa and Gargano haven't been over with me for years, and they're over with me right now just because of that whole thing they did with the Motor City Machine Guns. And that was just like almost like to them a throwaway thing that they did on SmackDown, but it was for the championships. And as we said, we need more championships on these shows. We need more just of what all this is, what we've been talking about. We need major turns, things that keep you that make you want to go, oh, I got to tune in next week. It's that simple, guys. Like, as far as just make us want to watch this and leave some big cliffhangers, not back in the day, just like 5 years ago with Vince running things lately, every main event was a 3-on-3 or 4-on-4 of guys that were all around the title scene, and that was it for nothing. Didn't mean anything. Nope. And that's kind of what AEW is to me now. Even though they have a whole continental tournament going on, it's almost like these are like throwaway matches. Okay, well, does it really matter if they win or lose? Not really, because they got another match next week where they can get more points.
That's why I hate triple threats so bad, because it seems like it's so hard to build a story around them.
Yeah.
It's so when it comes to the match, like you said, it's just throwaway. Like, there's no, and that's the end of it. There's no follow up to it. Nothing usually, because it goes back to 2 people.
Yep. That's why I'm looking so forward to the Dick the Boozer versus Orange Cassidy versus Jay White versus Hangman, right? That's the main event. Wow.
Rough.
Wow, that stinks. I'm not looking forward to that at all. And I think it's for a championship. It must be.
Like, it has to be. There's every match is for a championship.
It's wild. The AEW main title and the women tag titles. I forgot they even existed.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of things we just don't want to remember they exist. We just want to disappear from our heads. And once again, with AEW, so many of their problems are right in front of their face.
Mm-hmm.
It's like they don't see the cookie crumbs. They keep walking over them. And it's like, it's right there. If you fix this, you'd be something. You'd be a lot better. But when you got somebody, Tony Khan is like the kid from Toy Story. They got all his toys, and he plays with them. And then on the very last Toy Story, I can't remember which one it was, when he sold all his toys. That's Tony Khan. He's the kid from Toy Story. The AEW wrestlers is his toys. That's all. That's all they are. They're his toys he plays with, and that's that.
He's a bit of a hoarder as well, though, because he's not just got all the best toys and uses them efficiently all the time. He'll buy toys just so other people can't buy them, and then he'll leave them in the drawer and forget about them.
Like, you have an overloaded roster. Why do you need Baron Corbin? What are you going to do with Baron Corbin? Baron Corbin is not going to be a top guy in your promotion. He's not going to be a top undercard in your promotion. We know this. So why is he there?
If I was like Big Bill or something right now, I'd be pissed. It's like, you're going to bring in another really, really tall guy, and I'm sitting right here. And what are they even doing with Big Bill? They got him with Chris Jericho?
Yeah.
Like, okay.
And Brian Keith is a good friend of mine. I know Brian Keith. But my thing with that is Brian Keith is really good. He's really good. Watched him in the Indies many times, and to see him with this bad apple character with Jericho, I truly believe Jericho likes to surround himself with people he could kind of push over. He kind of push over. Because Jericho has to be the top guy no matter who he's with. He has to be the top guy. He's not putting anybody over. He's not going to put any characters over him.
Nope.
Not at this point.
Is he's not even putting Fozzy over, No.
I don't think anybody can name any of the band members with Fozzy. Name somebody with Fozzy other than Jericho.
It'd be funny if we did a show and just said, "Yep, I'm the guitarist, I'm the bassist, I'm the drummer."
I love that you can just say the word Fozzy and Reezy just fucking freaks out.
Yeah, I know.
I love
Foz is great.
I can't stand that damn.
Rock and Roll Hall of Fame any day now. But we've
He
said
was
it all.
Very lucky.
We've killed it. We did it all day today.
Yes,
Make
we
sure
did.
everybody out there retweets this, share this, go watch on YouTube. We need the share hours. Get us monetized on YouTube. Yeah, just look for us all over the interwebs. Got an album out, like I said, Spotify. Go check that out. We got the podcast on Apple Podcasts and SoundCloud and probably on everything else. So go check that out as well. Thank you guys for showing up. I appreciate you guys as well, just like Mark Henry, Hugenverse megastars, taking the time out of their day to educate all the people out here. So shout out to everybody. Expect your New Year's Eve cards, right, in the mail?
Yeah, I'm watching the mailbox.
Yeah. But yep, thank you for coming on, Reezy, Sleaze, Danny Damage, and we'll talk to all you guys next week, 2 p.m. Thank you to Sasha Reigns as well for joining us and being in the chat. And Jeffrey Cross or Philly Sports Pride, go follow him as well. Now, don't you talk about Jericho. Oh, we already did.
Yeah,
we already did.
Shit.
Sorry.
Will you laugh that fuckface? Shut your mouth.
Yep. We're gonna shut our mouths now. Sorry, Jericho. You're still one of the goats. One of them. All right.
Used to be.
Have a good day, everybody. Night, wherever you are around the world. Like, share, subscribe. Always subscribe.
Titillate the juices. You know what? Woo! Right now. Woo! Woo!
Dr. Hughes invites followers. Oh, let's see if they increase now. Me too. Yeah, wow. Dr. Hughes.
Mock-ass mock.
He's a great podcaster.
Trick-ass mock.
Acknowledge me.
We coming for you, nigga. Fat!
Yeah, Dr. Hughes, here we go. Keep plugging yourself, that's cool.
You fucking mark! First up, a man whose looks will serve your inner needs and desires.
Dr. Hughes.
Okay, go take another hairbrush in your ass.